Everybody. Today, our thought is broken but beautiful. Broken in order to truly love, broken in order to give, broken in order to sacrifice and be ready. I'm persuaded anybody that is ready to meet Jesus at one time in their life has been broken. I'm reminded of an old mirror that we had when we were moving, I believe, and it broke. And mom and I were going to throw it away. And my daughter, Hannah, said, No, don't throw it away. She wanted to make something out of it, and she did. She made a beautiful like seascape on the wall, and she painted it, and oh, it was so beautiful. I hated when she took it down to take it with her, but it reminds me so many times how something has to be broken for us to really realize what comes from brokenness. There's a song that says, something beautiful, something good, all of my confusion. Jesus understood all I had to offer him was brokenness and strife, but he made something beautiful out of my life. Today, I'm going to read a little devotion from In Touch magazine, Blessed to be Broken. Brokenness is not a topic we like. It makes us feel powerless when our source of protection fails. However, when that happens, we also receive a gift, the true understanding of ourselves, and better still, of the God who loves us. Proverbs 18:24 says, there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And in Hebrews, we hear God say, I will never leave you nor forsake you, but he'll be with us always. Rather than leave, God abides. The Greek word meno is often translated as abide, but it can also be rendered remain or stay. And that is what God does. Others may walk away. We may even give up on ourselves, but he remains waiting patiently alongside us always. Perhaps that's why Henry Francis lets him abide with me still resonates. The first stanza reads, when other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Whether you're broken or in the process of healing, make these words your prayer today. God, abide with me. I need you to help me in my brokenness. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. So he knew who we were going to be from the beginning. He loved us, and we come to him in all different ways. We come to him in our pride, and he has to break us up. Matthew 5:1, and seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. We're broken in our spirit. We're broken by death. We mourn. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely. These are things that come into our lives that break us up, that hurt us. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Sometimes we have things in our life that are broken. We have broken marriages. We have broken friendships. We have broken teacups. We have broken treasures. And sometimes they can be mended together again. We can get out some glue and we can put it back together again. And because it's an heirloom or something special to us, we want to keep it and we love it, even though it's broken. And that's the way Jesus is. He made us, and he doesn't like it when we go astray and we become broken by the things of this life, sometimes to our own doing, but other times things come to us that we didn't have anything to do with, and we are broken. But Jesus holds us close to him, and he says, I will heal thee. I will glue you back together. Many times in a day, I would come apart and I would be feeling terrible. And I just go to Jesus. I need you to hold me, Jesus. And he would hold me. He would hold me when I'm broken, and he would help me. I was getting ready to do this devotion today, and I had an email that was sent to me with a story from someone in LinkedIn. And I read it and just cried. And I said, I've got to share this story. A violin with 3 strings. On November 18th, 1995, Itzhak Perlman, a violinist, came on stage to give a concert at Avery Fisher Hall at Lincoln Center in New York City. If you have ever been to a Perlman concert, you know that getting on stage is no small achievement for him. He was stricken with polio as a child. And so he has braces on both legs and walks with the aid of two crutches. To see him walk across the stage one step at a time, painfully and slowly, is an awesome sight. He walks painfully yet majestically until he reaches his chair. Then he sits down, slowly puts his crutches on the floor and undoes the clasps on his legs, tucks one foot back and extends the other foot forward. Then he bends down and picks up the violin, puts it under his chin, nods to the conductor, and proceeds to play. Some people wouldn't even go and do this because it's too much effort, but he does. By now, the audience is used to this ritual. They sit quietly while he makes his way across the stage to his chair. They remain reverently silent while he undoes the clasp of his legs. They wait until he is ready to play. By this time, something went wrong, but this time something went wrong. Just as he finished the first few bars, one of the strings on his violin broke. You can hear it snap. It went off like gunfire across the room. There was no mistaking what that sound meant. There was no mistaking what he had to do. We figured that he would have to get up, put on the clasps again, pick up the crutches, and limp his way off stage to either find another violin or else find another string for this one. But he didn't. Instead, he waited a moment, closed his eyes, and then signaled the conductor to begin again. And I thought about Jesus, how we're broken and how we are giving up on ourselves. We want to throw ourselves away, but he doesn't give up on us. He stops and he says, okay, here I am, child. I'll help you with what you have. The orchestra began and he played from where he had left off. And he played with such passion and such power and such purity as they had never heard before. Of course, anyone knows it is impossible to play a symphonic work with just 3 strings. I know that, and you know that, but that night, Itzhak refused to know that. You could see him modulating, changing, recomposing the piece in his head. At one point, it sounded like he was detuning the strings to get new sounds from them that they had never made before. God takes our brokenness and he makes something out of us that we've never had before, something beautiful. When he finished, there was an awesome silence in the room. And then people rose and cheered. There was an extraordinary outburst of applause from every corner of the auditorium. We were all on our feet, screaming and cheering, doing everything we could to show how much we appreciated what he had done. He smiled, wiped the sweat from his brow, raised his bow to quiet us, and then he said, not boastfully, but in a quiet, pensive, reverent tone, you know, sometimes it is the artist's task to find out how much music you can still make with what you have left. God does that for us, something beautiful, something good. All our confusion, he understood. All we had to offer him was brokenness and strife, but he made something. He will make something beautiful out of our lives. What a great artist we have. He can do it, and we can trust in him. What a powerful line that is. It has stayed in my mind ever since I heard it. And who knows, perhaps this is the definition of my life, not just for artists, but all of us. Here is a man who had prepared all of his life to make music on a violin of 4 strings, who all of a sudden in the middle of a concert finds himself with only 3 strings. So he makes music with 3 strings. And the music he made that night with just 3 strings was more beautiful, more sacred, more memorable than any that he had ever made before when he had 4 strings. The moral? So perhaps our task in this shaky, fast-changing, bewildering world in which we live is to make music at first with all that we have, and then when that is no longer possible, to make music with what we have left. God will do it. He will help us. So if you feel broken today, if you feel downtrodden, if you feel tired, or maybe you're in the healing process, remember, God is not done. He will continue to help you. Just ask him. He will take care of us. This was written by Jack Weimer. I thank God for this article that was written today. It really blessed me. I pray that it blesses you. Take your brokenness to Jesus. Give it to him. He will help you. Have a good day.